Welcome everyone to this new episode. I feel that most of us has basic questions around on-campus job, courses, how to get internship, how easy it is to get internship or how difficult it is, right? So if you have similar questions in your mind, I know many of you guys have asked me on my ambassador channel. So I thought let's discuss the same with Hardik, who has already walked this path and watch this entire episode series. Yeah, it is a series. It is of three parts because he had so much to share that we couldn't encapsulate everything in one episode. Yeah, so without wasting any much time, let me take you and present to you the part one of episode 4 from USC's smartest podcast series. Let's talk. So, hi Hardik, welcome, and thank you so much for taking out time and for doing this podcast with me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Ayush. Thank you so much for having me here.
All its pleasure is all mine. So, without wasting any time, let's start. I know you personally. We have been working in the same team at AIS. So, what I want my members, my viewers to know about you. Tell us something about yourself.
Sure, generally. I'm actually a master's student. I'm studying in USC's Viterbi School of Engineering. I'm pursuing my master's in computer science general. I actually joined USC in spring of last year,
Oh,
just
wow.
before, like a few months before the pandemic hit. So it was
Ouch.
a very unique time when I joined, when I started my master's journey here. And before I came to the US for masters, I was studying in PES University. It is a
Okay.
college in Bangalore, and I graduated in 2019. And
Okay.
so I didn't have a lot of professional work experience in terms of full time, but
Mhm.
I did a couple of internships before I came for my masters.
Okay. So, what was your profile like if you want to share your GRE score, TOEFL score for people who are watching?
Yeah,
If
sure.
you
So
if
my
you
GRE
remember.
score was 317 out of 340.
Okay.
My quant score was about 165. My
Wow.
verbal score was about 152. And I don't remember this very clearly, but I think my AWA score was 4.5 out of 6.
Wow. Wow. Nice. That's nice. And why did you choose Spring? I mean, it's weird that people generally don't take Spring. So why Spring?
So to be honest, spring was not my original choice. I had
Okay.
applied for a fall, academic year itself, but
Okay.
so a few things happened that I got a nice co-op opportunity back in India,
Wow. Okay.
and I also heard back from USC saying that they would prefer for me to join in the spring cohort, and they were also willing to provide some form of academic scholarship to promote me to do that. And
Okay.
so I didn't know much about spring that time. I was always of the notion that okay, generally people come in fall. So I started speaking to bunch of people if there were in any specific advantages or disadvantages of coming in spring,
Hmm.
and I thought overall it would be fine. It would give me some more time in India, and it worked out in the end.
Wow. So was it any first of all any disadvantage of coming in Spring? We know many advantages, but any disadvantage that you can think
Um,
of?
So, in terms of taking courses, in terms of anything that you do academically in the university, there is no difference because you have people joining at multiple times of the year, and then you can always just enroll in courses. So,
Okay.
availability of courses, being able to do any form of projects or anything is not affected, irrespective of when
Mhm.
you come. One major thing that gets affected is when you actually get to do your summer internship. If you
Okay.
join in fall, you actually have the rule is that you have to spend one academic year within the university by studying there, and then
Mhm.
only you will be eligible for an internship. So if you come in fall, you can do the fall and the next year spring, and then within 1 year you'll be eligible to take the internship. But if you come in spring after 1 year, even though you'll be eligible in the next spring, you'll be able to do a full-time internship only in the summer because that is when most companies offer internships.
Makes sense.
Some companies offer co-ops in the spring semester or the fall semester, but it's a little unclear whether you'll be able to get that sort of an opportunity while taking a full-time course load. So generally,
Okay.
when you work in the summer, you don't really take a course, and when you do a co-op, it becomes difficult if you have to take a full-time course load of two subjects plus a co-op. So
Correct.
that doesn't work out really well. It becomes too hectic for you. So that is one. advantage slash, I don't know what you would classify it as. Some people see that as an advantage because when you come in the spring, you get one additional semester for you to prepare for your internship. Whereas
True.
when you come in the fall, as soon as you join, you are head on in taking courses, adjusting to the new life in the US, as well as preparing for internships, applying, interviewing. So it becomes too much at one go. So it depends on your personal preference, what sort of experience you've had before, and how comfortable you are in moving ahead with that.
True. If somebody asks me, I would definitely go for spring. I am also spring admit, and I have no regrets. Trust me. If not for
That's
spring,
nice.
I'm pretty sure I would have never been given so much time for this YouTube and this thing that I'm pursuing. I would have never been able to give so much of time for sure. Perfect. So you were a spring 19 admit, right? 20 admit,
Spring 20, yeah.
and then just COVID happened. So everything
Yeah.
was online, right?
Yeah. So when I joined in January, and then the lockdown happened in mid-March. So
Okay.
for the first 2.5 months, I had a very active campus life, and then it just became completely remote.
So how is it going? I mean, for people, I know next fall will be most likely be on campus,
Yeah.
but still, if you in few words, how was experience, online experience?
Oh, so an online experience was very different because although the university has a very good distance learning education program, it was a hard task for everyone to get adjusted to this Zoom life, right? Because
True.
after coming to the US and living here, and then the experience is that you go to campus and then you do everything very actively, and then suddenly everything goes to Zoom. Although many students, we all watch recorded lectures later on, so it's not like
Okay.
we never do something like this. Is just that doing that as the first thing that you do, that means not watching the live lectures and directly doing recorded, watching it online or viewing recorded lectures later on, it takes some amount of time shift. But the bigger thing is you lack the social interaction that you have with your friends. So because of the lockdown, it might not be safe to visit others and then things like that. But the collaboration that you do in terms of discussing, working on the assignments, working on projects together, one of the greatest fun experiences that you'll have is like staying late night in Levy Library and then studying there. So
Okay.
although it becomes a little hectic, but it's all the more fun because you're doing it with your friends there.
True. Yeah, definitely. I have not experienced this life, so maybe in fall, definitely.
Definitely, yeah, we
Yeah,
should all look forward to the campus reopening in fall.
correct. At least you will have one more semester, right?
Yeah, I will have one more semester.
Perfect. So tell me some of the courses that you have already taken or you're planning to take. Both.
Sure. So in my first semester, I took CSCI 570, that is analysis of algorithms,
Okay.
and then I also had 561, which was foundations and applications of artificial intelligence. Um,
Okay.
and after that, in my summer, I took the operating systems course. So
In
that is in,
summer.
yeah, in the summer. So and
Okay.
after that, I think in fall 20, I took data mining, which is a data science course, DSCI
Mhm.
553. And I also took the security systems course.
Okay.
I think that is CSCA 530. And currently in spring 2021, I'm taking the CSCA 527, which is ML for games.
ML for games. Wide. I mean, I see the variety of courses are very wide. Any thought process? I mean, for like many of us, like even me, I'm confused. What should I take for summer? And when you
Mhm.
said operating system, that is why I was so shocked. It's a very, very heavy course, right?
Agreed. Yeah, it is a
Yes.
heavy course.
So can you walk us through your mind? What were you thinking, and what was your thought process behind taking such kind of a variety? And
Sure,
how should one
definitely.
think? Definitely, how should one think for the coming summer?
Yeah, so if I look at my personal background, I have taken some web development, database related courses in my undergrad, and I had a fair amount of experience in working with that during my internships and co ops, as well as the personal projects that I've been working on. So I felt that I had enough amount of experience for me to there was nothing more that I wanted to learn through an academic course. There is
Okay.
definitely loads to learn out there, but I looked at the course structure of for those courses, and I felt that okay, that is not what I wanted to study here. Because when you're coming for masters, one sort of mindset is, what are the new things that you want to learn, right? What is the new domain that you want to know about? And if there's an existing domain that you're working in, how much of depth do you want to gain in that? Because that is what would define how your future career might be, based on what skill sets you have and what you can bring to the table. So
Sure.
first I try to understand what are the things that I don't want to do, and once that gets filtered out, then it becomes simpler for me to explore, right? So based on the courses that I told you, you might see that there is a fair amount of variety in that. There is some systems work, there is some machine learning, data science related things, and there is completely new domains like security as well. So these are some of the courses that I found to be highly valuable. So based on the people I spoke to, based on the professors who are teaching these courses, and also the course structure. So these are the things that I kept in mind, and
Okay.
what helped me understand is, every course that I take, what is the value that course provides to me, right? Because
Okay.
to be honest, we are spending a lot of money in taking each of these courses, right? And if you compare it to our traditional education in India, the expenditure that we're doing is much greater. So it makes obvious sense that for the amount of money that we're spending, we should get at least 2x, 3x, 10x the value, right? Like,
Yeah.
at least that's how I think about it. So personally, these courses appealed to me, and I
Okay.
felt that I would learn quite a bit in these courses, because all of these courses were, except algorithms, every other course was very hands-on, and I got to learn quite a few new things which I didn't know about. So that was some of the things. So in general, when you asked about how do you choose a course for the summer, a few things that I can tell you is, first, understand the calendar. Like, what is the summer like? So typically in USC, you have two sections in the summer, summer 1 and summer 2, and each of those are up for between 5 to 6 weeks. So if you look at the course, the list of courses that's available, I'm sorry, that's available in the summer, you'll see that there are some courses that are available only in one of those two sections, and there are some courses that span both sections. So what I saw when I took operating systems was that, what are the courses that are there in one of these sections, and which are the things which cover both, because these same courses are there even in a regular semester like spring or fall. So it would be necessary for us to see what is the course syllabus, what is the sort of breakdown, the grade breakdown. Is it more hands on, is it more theoretical? How regularly would we need to submit assignments? Because all of that factors in, because the whole thing, the content is not reduced, but the time is scaled down massively in a summer. So you'll get the same content, but it will be too clustered together. So I have friends who took courses that had a very high assignment submission. So one example I can give you is of data mining. A few of my friends took that, and they actually had assignment submissions every week,
Okay.
and plus they had exams, plus they had weekly quizzes, plus they had a final project, and that was a six
Oh.
week course.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
same thing
Man.
in a regular semester that gets spread across maybe 14 to 16 weeks gets
Mhm.
shrink to about 6 weeks. So you can imagine the amount of time that you would have to give, right? And another thing to consider is, along with this, you will be starting to prepare for your internships. So you
True.
will be starting to practice online. So I'm talking here specifically for computer science students, because I am a computer science student.
Yeah.
So in summer, you would probably start solving some problems, practicing how to interview, start looking for companies and things like that. And this is a long term process, and that takes some time, right? So you need to see how you can balance your coursework along with these additional things that you had to do. So some of the reasons I took operating systems was that I knew that I would not be able to handle operating systems in a regular semester, because that
Why?
time, apart from operating systems, I would need to take another course. I would be doing an on-campus job, and I would actively be applying and also interviewing for internships. So, considering the workload that each of the courses requires, I thought taking it in the summer would be more beneficial to me, especially because I had a firm mind that I wanted to take the operating systems course no matter what. So all I had to do was figure out how to fit in when to take that course over my entire degree timeline. And another thing was that that is a very hands-on course. So we actually build a toy kernel from scratch, and we get to work in a team of about 4 to 5 people. So that was another advantage, that okay, I wouldn't have to do all the assignments by myself. I have a team, so I can collaborate. So that is another skill that we need to learn while we're studying you would essentially even apply the same thing when you're working, right? You would learn how to collaborate in a team. So why not start doing that when you're studying itself? So all of these things factored in, and then OS sort of fell into the sweet spot for me to take in the summer. So yeah, that was a good experience. I had a mindset of, okay, how do I use the knowledge that I already have, what I can leverage in USC in terms
True.
of the advantages that USC provides. There are some subjects like that are very good in USC. Some professors who are really good and really known for some of the courses. So it depends on your personal choice. But most importantly, I would say keep track of what is it that you want to learn. Have the goal to be very clear so that you don't have to think twice when you're deciding about a course.
Goal-oriented mindset. That is, if I
Yeah,
summarize.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm so sorry I had to break the conversation here. We have two more parts coming up in this episode series, which will be coming up this week. I will not be delaying it any further, I promise. But yeah, till then, make sure to hit the like button, get it spread across everybody. And if you learned anything from this video, got some clarity about what courses to take, what courses are offered by USC specifically for CS department, but the similar approach can be taken for other courses as well. And you wish to know more about Hardik's experience about internships, on-campus jobs, there's a small surprise coming from AIS also. So if you are excited about it and you liked this part of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button first and hit the bell icon. Why? So that you get notified when the video is out, correct? So you don't miss the important information which we are trying to share over here. And having said that, just to show you what is about to come in the next video, here are some sneak peeks. Please have a look.
I can actually tell you a
Yeah.
funny story about that. So I got my on-campus job in my first semester itself, and you'll be fascinated by the level of creativity in where research actually happens. So and plus I was also preparing for internships that time. So
I hope you liked the sneak peeks and excited for what is about to come. So as you might know, there's so much to share and so much to educate out everybody. And so yeah, I'll be keep making such podcast series and videos. But please help me reach out to more people. You can do that by sharing it with your friends, families, on Instagram, Facebook, Discord servers, wherever possible. Help me reach out to more people because I really want to help anyone and everyone possible. You can talk to me on Ambassador program. The links are in the description below. And fight on.